folks, and welcome back to my top 200 games of all time. We are on number 180. 180's been in my collection for quite some time. It's an excellent little game called Coney Island. Coney Island, you're putting acts out on the board. The more acts you have on the board, the more powerful your actions will be. However, you cannot score victory points until you cover those acts with certain attractions, carnival attractions, that brings them back onto your board, making your actions less powerful, but giving you victory points in the game. Another way, though, to lose victory points at the end of the game is if you have workers that are, or street performers who are still out in the game, you're going to be losing victory points. So you want to end the game with all of your people back, but that, of course, is going to limit the amount of things you can do. This game is really smart, definitely underrated. I see this game for super cheap. In fact, I am honestly, seriously thinking the one deficiency about this game, the reason it's never been in my top 100, is because I feel that it needs more. One of the actions you do is add a tile to the game. Well, they don't give you enough tiles to fill up the entire board. So after the first couple of rounds, when people are picking tiles, that option just disappears the first half of the game because the tiles are all gone. And there's still tons of board space left, but that's because you don't have that many carnivals. So your chances of scoring one of those are kind of low too, because once those are done, that ends the end of the game. Now I understand you want to do everything, which means it's a good game, and you feel like you didn't have the time, but I really feel like you could double the tiles. That would cover all the board, and then double the attractions. I even have the big Ferris wheel promo tile, and even that doesn't scratch that itch of making sure, man, I want to keep building though. I want to keep going. I want to fill out the land and everything and do different things. And you have all these strategies you got to think about. I mean, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe you shouldn't have double the pieces, but I really have considered, if I can find a copy for really cheap, I may just butcher it and just take those extra tiles, take those extra attractions, and just add it to the base game, because I feel like you always feel like, no, I want to keep playing. But of course, that's a sign of a good game. But like I said, I just wish that you could fill out the whole player board or have more options to put more carnival attractions in. But really smart game. Check it out. Definitely one of the games that flew under the radar for a lot of people, and no one remembers it now. But really awesome game. My number 179 is Rhino Hero Super Battle, one of the two hobby games. I don't have any hobby games in my collection because I do have kids, so I may need to start getting a few more. But of the hobby games I only have two, and Rhino Super Hero is one of them that I just love. I got rid of Rhino Hero this year because I realized I just wasn't playing anymore. I love Rhino Hero, giant Rhino Hero. Ooh, dangerous if I ever get a copy of that. But because that's the first time I ever played the game, was the giant version, which cost like $100, but it's worth it, worth every penny. But the thing is, though, so I bought Rhino Hero, then I heard about Rhino Hero Super Battle, and now I only play Rhino Hero Super Battle. I don't think this is a game just for kids. My adult gaming group, we played a bunch of dexterity games. What was it? One night I had dexterity night, and this one came out, and every time we were adding a piece, everyone would just leave the room and look into the dining room from the hallway or the kitchen going, is he going to do it? Like, no one even wanted to breathe on the person who had to walk in there. So the gameplay is always there. My nephews and I still have probably a world record of how many we had built this thing so high. We started on a low coffee table, and we were standing up and getting like we've actually broken out one of the little step ladders for them to put their cards on, because it's just so much fun. And definitely worth checking out. One of the few hobby games I say are not just for kids, it's for everyone. It's for adults too. Check out Rhino Hero Super Battle. Excellent game. My number 178 is a popular game, but it's the dice versions. Biblios Dice. A lot of people have Biblios. Now, I traded Biblios, now about 3-4 years now. And I've just been playing the dice game, because that's really all I need. Is you're rolling the dice, everyone's selecting dice, moving up different tracks. Every once in a while, you have to do an auction style bid to get a bunch of dice. And it's just fun, quick, and just a lot of strategy in here. I do know that Dr. Fan Games reprinted this version, and so it's available once again. I got it on one of their other reprintings a long time ago. They were selling both Biblios and Biblios Dice together, and I got it. But ended up trading off Biblios because I really didn't care for it anymore, and Biblios Dice is the way to go. I actually showed it to a friend of mine who came in over the holidays last year, and he loved it. I think he loved it. Josh, did you get a copy? You let me know in the comments below. But anyway, Biblios Dice, my number 178. Number 177, folks, is a new game in my collection. I see it's right over here. It is Secret of Monte Cristo. Woo! This is an underrated game. It is underrated. I've been wanting to get a copy of this for years. You can get a copy of it for super cheap. And it's got these nice, thick, heavy marbles. That's what I wish was in Golem. Nice, thick, heavy marbles. And you only get like 4 or 5. Yeah, there's 4 different choices to do. And you're taking the action if you're the marble at the bottom. And then you're putting your marble either back in that row or in one of the other action rows. And every action is imperatively important. And you find this out really quick. My board game group, when we played this, when I first started play testing it, just to do my review, We started playing it. By the second game, we all realized, oh, we know the strategy here. So we played about 3 times or so, before I reviewed this one. This was a pretty fun one. And then I just played it like a month ago with my little nephew, and he figured out the strategy really quick. Like, oh, at first he thought this game was stupid. And there is a lot of strategy here because you're trying to get all, 4 actions, but sometimes you want a little bit more of these actions. You need to back off those. Why'd you put that marble back there? Because you need the marble over here. You need to do these actions now. And it's about doing the right balance to get the right treasures in certain towers, to have your people in those towers, and of course to have the bags, which is very important, to take those treasures with you and manipulate the score track, so you can score a lot of victory points. And don't forget about those one-time only actions you can do at the front of the board, at the top of the board. Everyone forgets that. And when I use one, they go, "Oh, I forgot you could do that." But it's only once in the game, and if you use it just right, like I did, you can get the victory a lot of times. But I'm not growing tired of this game. Now, if I'm raving about it, why is it 177, Matt? Why isn't it in my top 100? Well, not every game can be in my top 100. Plus, remember, new games, try to be conservative on my rankings for them, but I can definitely see this game climbing within my collection in the next couple of years. All right, number 176 is a game that they do have a reprint of, a big box reprint of, that you should definitely get. Hansa Teutonica. I wouldn't say I wasted my money, but before the big box came out, I had to track down the expansions, the little promos, which are all included in the big box. So you should definitely get the big box for a better price, probably lower than what I paid for everything. But I love Hansa Teutonica because it's just you're upgrading your player board by doing certain actions. But that's not just the whole way to win. In fact, this time, for the first time ever, there's 2 ways the game will end. And one of the ways, which never happened for us, was to establish this long road across the board, to have a cube in every tower, which I didn't think was really possible because there's so many other actions you can do. But I quickly figured it out that I said, oh, wait, you can, if no one else sees what you're doing, and that's the cool thing about this, you don't have to do it in order. You can do this road, then maybe this road, then this road in the middle, then another road in the middle. And then suddenly, like I think it was at the very end, someone finally realized, Matt's about to end the game. They said that on the last round of the game. Went, oh, no. No one knew what I was doing. And I like that I just did the strategist kind of snuck up on people at the last minute. I went, yep. And I made my final move and ended the game, got some big points, ended that round. And then you score a lot of your points at the end of the game. But ensure that everyone else they had been trying to build up, because you want to build up your own player board to get better actions, stronger actions and stuff. But you need to watch it because all the while people are setting up big points to score at the end of the game too. So you need to balance both. You want to upgrade your board, but you cannot let area control get away from you. Oh, such a great balance, such a great game. The big box has all the different land versions, which, I don't play with as much, but I will start doing it now that everyone kind of knows different strategies of the base game. But this is just a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. So much fun to play. That's why it's in my collection at 176. Number 175 is a game that a lot of people hate. I see it go for $10 or cheaper online. And I don't know why, because Il Vecchio is truly, truly a fun game. You are doing basically 3 actions. You're either waking up all of your players because you've activated them all, or you're activating them and moving them to a city or merchant and taking that action, or you're rolling the dice and entering a new family member into the player board. That's it. When it boils down to it, those are 3 choices you're doing. So the game would be probably a top 100 game if my gaming group did not suffer from AP. Every time we play this is like a 3-hour game. It shouldn't be. It should be like a 45-minute hour game. And I don't know why they have the hardest time. On the E, usually when it's 3 simple decisions on what to do, that's when they lock up. Well, all your people are knocked out, so you can't move. So you either wake everyone up or bring a new family member in. I know. What are you thinking? I mean, I'll even help them out. Give them their best advice that they can win, because I just like, why does it take so long? I still don't understand why, for some reason, we only bring it out once a year because I don't have enough time in the day to play this every day. And I would love to play it more. And I'm playing with the same gaming group. But the thing is, though, they just sit there and 3 easy actions, but yet they don't know what to do every time. It's just mind-boggling. But Il Vecchio, like I said, I see this game for super cheap everywhere, and I don't know why. I think it's a fantastic game. My number 174. I don't hear anyone talk about this game, but Manitoba, really beautiful game. As you're moving across the board, gathering certain resources to get victory points on your board, because at the end of every certain round, you'll score however many buffalo or canoes or berries or feathers or wilds in the game. But out of these horses, resources. But the thing is, you don't want your tracks to go all the way to the top. Some tracks peak midway through, and then you start losing points if you have more buffalo than what you need. You start losing points. I love that because you're trying to balance all the levels out, but you're also trying to claim some actions, go up certain. There's like what, 4 different tracks you can go up that give you benefits in the game and bonuses in the game and victory points in the game and little special actions in the game. So you may not get up to all 4 tracks, but the thing is, though, you definitely pick some tracks and pick a different strategy as you're trying to get this area control going on, trying to grab the resources. And there's so many moving pieces here. No one talks about this game. I don't know why. I think it's a beautiful game, and I always have fun playing it. Doesn't come out as much as I want it to, that's for sure. But Manitoba, definitely. I don't know what the price is. Maybe it's just out of print and just too high for everyone. Maybe that's the reason you don't hear anyone talking about it. But if you can find this for even a decent price, I say 45, 50 bucks, and you pick it up because it's definitely a keeper. All right, number 173 is a new game in my collection. I absolutely love Rockwell. Rockwell, you are moving pieces on the board, tokens, little wooden tokens on the board, trying to get enough points to dig, flip over the tile, and dig for resources. You're gathering resources to build up and buy different things, to get victory points in the game, to buy insurance, because there's a lot of cave-in cards that can make you lose some valuable stuff. It's a little bit, you're working together with one another, but at the same time, you're trying to work against them. You need the majority in something, but you kind of need their help. And when you split the minerals, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. So you don't want to split any of it. You want it all to yourself. But as you get deeper in there, it's hard to, crack a tile on its own. Oh, man, this is such a great game. And I don't know if I can recommend it, because here's the thing. My copy has a production issue. And I don't know if every copy is like this, but it just was so disappointing. So it's the only complaint I have about the game is so it's a circular board. You put the pieces together in the middle, and the circle on the outside does not lock together because they made 2 female ends. And I guess that was a production issue goof, because it should have a male and female connection, and we should establish the outer ring to keep the board centered. So what they did, maybe they were lazy. Instead of reprinting that, they just had to print out a double male piece. But unfortunately, it's too big to fit into the female pieces on the board. So now I can't lock that at the outer ring together. So the board's always kind of shifting, and all the tiles are kind of getting shifted and moved. And I hate that. I hate it. And if it just connected all, I'll be honest, this would be closer into my top 100 if it worked, because that production issue is probably the big thing that drug this down for me. Because I've even played it after the review, and my group loves it. We love it, but we hate that we've been trying to figure out ways, because he's talking about like maybe cutting the cardboard to kind of make it fit, but that wouldn't work. It'd always be kind of loose in there. And I'm just so daggum disappointed. Hopefully it's just my copy, but either way, it is a really fun game. But daggum, that production issue just got to me. That's probably why it's so low. Without it, you could knock off at least 50 more spots, maybe, because I'd probably play it more often too if that was the case. All right, number 172. Chocolate Factory. It's engine building as you're making this chocolate factory. The pieces look like chocolates. Makes you hungry for chocolate. I always usually have chocolate out when we play this, and you just gobbled up. People, I said, "Yeah, you want to eat chocolate?" No, thanks. You bring out this game, then they start reaching for that chocolate, because you can just see yourself. You can smell the chocolate that you're making in the game, and it's such a phenomenal game. I finally got the little mini expansion of this called the Chocolatiers Master Chocolate. It just adds extra cards to the game. That's all. But oh man, I just really love the game. I wish I would have gotten the deluxe version way back in the day. Not that I'm going to track it down now. I don't think I'm ever going to get it. I think I'm happy with the copy I have. But another game that I just thought was just going to take the board game community by storm when I played it. I was like, oh, this is nice. And it just was out and then died out. And then no one talks about it again. And it's a shame, because it is a super smart game where if you get your gameplay together, you start really churning out the right types of, because everyone has a path to victory, depending on whatever they want their chocolate factory to start turning out. And you can make some buku points in this game by the end of the game and just start spinning around that score track. I love this game. Excellent game. Chocolate Factory. My number 171 is a great filler game. I see it on a lot of people's top 100s because it's gotten a reprint lately. But Las Vegas, I have the original version and expansion. It's super hard to find now. But I think it's included in that new, I think it's called Vegas Royale or whatever. It's the same game. And you should definitely get this. You like just simple dice placement where you're rolling your dice and placing all the dice of a particular pip value onto one of the 6 casinos on the table. And of course, whoever has the majority in each casino will get the money there. And of course, whoever has the most money wins. When this game comes out, it gets played several times. I do play it with all the expansions in it now, with the hidden agendas and stuff that you can get extra victory points on, the bigger dice that can either kick other dice out or break ties. There's a lot of different little neat things. They have the slot machine, which is just a random, you're just trying to put random die there, and that's good for the leftover die you have. You're like, oh, I don't want to spend it on that place. I don't want that place. Or I already have a billion dice on that. I'm going to have to put this, so those last couple of rolls when you're getting dice that you just can't place, you can place them at the slot machine and hopefully get some money there. I just love this game. Very thematic because you're throwing them bones. But my nephews even bought the newer version. They love this game so much. They went out and bought a copy when the new version came out because I told them, and they went out and bought it because they play with their friends too. But Las Vegas is a really fun game. I wish I brought it out to the table more. I just forget about it. I don't know why. I've got so many games. That's probably why. But I would play this more probably if I thought about it because it's an easy game to set up, easy game to teach, and everyone has fun. I think this is one of the games I did at the end of the night one night, and my gaming group went, "We can play one more," and then they said, "We can play one more." We played like 4 or 5 games that night. Stayed up for another whole hour or so, just playing it, just having the best time ever. Because Las Vegas, it's just such a beautiful game, and I'm glad it's gotten that reprint. All right, gamers, that's it for now. But you know what? I'll be back with 10 more next time.